Welcome to Linda's Real Deal Talk Show. Hold on to your seat because we have another fantastic, exciting episode. And our guest is Marilyn Chappell. She is a wife, a mother, an author, and she has her own business. But I'm going to let her tell her story and explain her message. Today, the title of this episode is called Changing Your Mindset, the Freedom Plan. How does that sound? Do you want to be free? I'm going to let her share with you what she means by the Freedom Plan, because I'm looking forward to her story. So let's give Marilyn Chappell a big, warm welcome. Yay! Thank you, Marilyn, so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Really appreciate that. And I want the audience to get to know you. So let's start off with talking about your family background.
Yeah, so once again, thank you for having me on your show. I am honored. My background, I grew up as a military child. And so right there at Whiteman Air Force Base. Then we moved to Knob Noster, Missouri. Okay. Went to Japan for about 3 years. And then my parents got orders right back at Whiteman Air Force Base. Okay. And so I graduated high school at Warrensburg High School and went to school at DeVry University and got my bachelor's degree. And from there, I ended up in a management role at Taco Bell. So that kind of got me through college. Mm-hmm. And I made it to Kansas City because I ended up getting transferred as a promotion with Taco Bell to Harrisonville. I knew I didn't want to live in Harrisonville, and so that's how I ended up in Kansas City.
Oh, and how long have you been married?
I have been married for, this year will be 14 years.
Wow.
14 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
I think that's wonderful.
Yes. Have 3 beautiful children, 15, 18, and 22. And so all girls, and so we are blessed, to have them. And so that's my family background.
Sounds wonderful. Just love it. Now we're going to talk about her businesses. What would you like to start off with? Share it with us.
Sure. So I would say my background is in banking. So supervising as well as banking. That's where I found my passion for financial education, teaching financial education. In 2016, my husband and I, one of our prayers was to one day be able to retire me pretty much from the banking industry and work alongside my husband. We have a electrical contracting business, Chappell Electric, and at the time, the demand started getting a little great to where I wasn't really able to focus as much at the credit union where I was at, because I worked my way from a teller to vice president of a credit union. So you can imagine, a lot of demands at the credit unions coming my way, and then my husband calling, did you send out that change order? Did you make payroll? All that. So it came to a point to where we had to walk by faith. First, we had to go in prayer. And then we had to ask ourselves, what does faith look like, right? So what does faith look like? And a lot of times that is, taking that step, even though you don't really know what the next step will be. And so 2017, I was able to work alongside my husband full time. I was able to put in my resignation in December of 2016, January 1, it was on. Yes. And then it came to a point to where probably like within a couple of months, my husband looked at me and he was like, you know what? Don't stop pursuing your dream. And my dream was always to have my own nonprofit and teaching financial literacy, educating people around finances, because what I saw while I was working in the banking industry is that there was a great need to educate on finances. A lot of people would come in get denied for the things that they needed, right? Because everybody's needs look different. But I didn't see too many people actually show them how they can come back with that yes. So I found myself, bringing them in my office at the time and showing them how to come back with that yes by going over their credit report. And it wasn't until I had clients who actually, or customers who would come back to me and say, hey, this is where my credit score is, and I was able to buy a house. This is where my credit score is, now I'm able to buy a car. And so I knew then that there was a passion there, and that's what drove me to go ahead and start my 501c3 nonprofit organization called Exceeds Expectations Incorporated in 2017.
I like that. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm so excited for you. Make me want to tear up. I love success stories, don't you? Yes. So just like Marilyn went after her dreams, you can go after your dreams also. So that's what the topic is about, is changing, getting the knowledge that you need so that you can change, so that you can have that financial plan in place to succeed. And tell us about exceeding. What are some other information you would like to share with the audience about succeeding?
Yeah, so, you're not your circumstance. We can overcome our circumstances. And I always say a lot of times it's not by our might, it's definitely with God, and I truly believe that. There were times to where, because I have my own personal stories, and I'm transparent when it comes to us educating people around finances, because it's more than just about money. It's about mindset too. Sometimes that's where our freedom we need to work on that freedom in the mind, so I definitely look at that. I love to dig deep and uproot. And so I once had a gambling problem. Sometimes our financial problems are self-inflicted, but a lot of times we don't want to admit it. And so that led me to go down the payday loans, and we all know that payday loans is a vicious cycle. Yes, it can have you wrapped up in it for a long time, and just when you think that you have more income by going there to get some money, really it's a liability, and you're owing way more than what you actually went there initially to take out. And so I know there was one time where I said, Lord, if you just take this away from me, deliver me from this, I'll never go back again. I'll never go back to that casino, and I'll never go back to that payday lending place. And it came to a point to where it was around tax season time in April. And I was getting a nice refund check, and I took that refund check, not all of it because it wasn't that much that I owed, but I took a portion of that refund check and I paid off that payday loan place because I had got too smart for myself, right? I ended up having one on the Missouri side and the Kansas side.
Oh, okay.
And but that was a lot of stress, because at the time I was a single mom, and I had to go get my daughter from daycare by 6 o'clock, and both of the payday lending places on payday, they closed at 6 o'clock too. So you can imagine how I felt that day on payday at work. I wasn't getting too much done as far as production. And so I like to educate on that. Is a lot of times when there is financial stress, it will affect you and show up in many ways that you may not even realize. And so it doesn't matter how much money you make. If you don't know how to manage it, you're going to always have a hole in your pocket, and it's going to be a vicious cycle. It's just going to be routine, and you're going to still have issues.
Oh, I love your story. Yes. So tell us, I like how you were vulnerable in sharing how that you had your gambling was holding you back from having that financial freedom. So what's holding you back? Would you like to reach out to Marilyn for some advice, some help to have that mindset change, to find out where you stand financially, or what are your goals and desires in life Do you want to buy a home? Do you want to take that vacation? Do you want to leave a legacy? Well, Marilyn's here to help you. And so, Marilyn, how can someone reach out to you if they would like to get advice from you?
Yeah, so they can reach out to me by on our website. They can contact us. It's letsexceed.org. That's our short handle. As well as they can email me. It's marilyn@exceedsexpectations.org. And they can get in touch with us that way.
That sounds great. So tell us, what legacy are you planning on leaving or would like to leave for your family?
Yeah, so I would like to leave a legacy of hope, a legacy of you can do anything that you put your mind to. And so one of the things that we love to do as a family is we would love to write down our vision for our household. We like to also share our mission. What as a family, we want people to know the Chappells by. When we pass away, because everybody got to go one day, what do you want them to say about you? And one of the things that I would hope that people would be able to say about me is that because of her, I did. Because she did, I can. I want my kids to say, because she taught me, and it wasn't that she told me, but she taught me and she showed me I'm able to. And so those are the legacies that I want to leave. And also, just to be able to show our kids that you can buy land if you want to.
Oh, yes.
You can buy a home, but you know what? You can buy your own land and you can put a home on that land. You can, whatever you put your mind to, you can do. Write it down and
I love it.
let's achieve it.
And another legacy that she's leaving for us is she wrote a book.
Yes.
And what's the title of your book?
The title of my book is The Abundance Mindset, Mind Over Money. You can actually purchase the book on Amazon. It's on Amazon. You can purchase it there. And what I love about it is that it is really a journal. It's a guide. It's guiding you day by day for 21 days, because they say 21 days. It takes 21 days to break a habit. And see, personal finance is 20% knowledge and 80% behaviors and habits. And so this book will guide you for 21 days. Each day you have a task, and then you have a scripture to meditate on.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes.
And what inspired you to write your book?
What inspired me to write it is because, you know what? If God can do it for me, then I believe he can do it for anybody else. But it also is just to help guide somebody and hold them accountable one day at a time. And that's all it takes, is one day at a time.
Yes. And I like her last name, Chappell. So with this, I think she's taking us to the chapel.
That's it. Look, I'm going to have to start using that.
I just love it. Oh.
Absolutely. Yeah, so my hope is just that, people are inspired, encouraged, and they're empowered to move forward or faith forward, and not to allow anything to keep them stuck.
You just answered the question I was getting ready to ask you. I said, this is amazing. How we just vibing, we get on the same wavelength, got that energy. Because I wanted her to share with us some encouraging words to spur us on, to help us to keep moving forward. Yes. So continue what you were just sharing right there.
Absolutely. So if you are one that is stuck, you feel like you are, you don't know what to do next, I encourage you to write down your dreams. Just dream. Give yourself permission to dream. Let your pencil flow. Don't try to be perfect. Just write. And then once you do that, then write down some goals based off of your dreams. and then from there prioritize them. A lot of times we want to achieve something like overnight, but give yourself some time and some grace, and prioritize by 1 year, 3 year, 5 years. And if it's overwhelming to look that far ahead, just focus on 1 year at a time, and then break them down into action steps and hold yourself accountable. And if you need somebody to hold yourself accountable, that's what we do at Exceeds Expectations, is we meet you right where you are, and we walk with you on your financial journey by giving you tools, by giving you resources, connecting you with resources to help you to achieve your financial dreams.
Yes, that is wonderful. So give her a call. I'll be calling her. Yes. And in conclusion, I would like to leave with you a quote from Les Brown. Make each day count by setting specific goals to succeed, then putting forth effort to exceed your own expectations. And this quote is by Les Brown. And it's just really, I thought it was really appropriate for what we were talking about, expectations. So whatever your expectations are, just go for it. Thank you so very much for joining the Linda's Real Deal Talk Show. And I'll see you on the next episode.